Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there that's celebrating it. COD Mobile has blessed us with a Thanksgiving worth being excited about. We finally are getting some buffs and nerfs to the meta in COD Mobile. In particular, most excited about the BP50 nerf, which people have been waiting for a long time. Hope you guys enjoy. We're going to go ahead and hop into the patch notes. Shout out to Elite Game Leakers for hooking us up early. I'm going to go ahead and hop in. As you can see, off the start already, another meta gun getting nerfed. It is going to be the Odin. Obviously, this one's not quite as prevalent in ranked, but especially for competitive players, I think people will be excited about it. Two of the most commonly used attachments in the Colossus Suppressor and the Light Stock getting nerfed. Less strafe speed on the Light Stock and less damage range from 40 down to 30 for the Odin. That's definitely a big fat W for competitive players. BP50 nerf, easily the most excited that I've been for a nerf in a long time. Just not even remotely close. And it was a change that I felt like was the necessary one, nerfing the rapid fire barrel. So first off, they have a 15% damage range penalty, which is obviously going to make it a lot less lethal at range. Without the rapid fire barrel, the BP50 is not close to meta. I don't think this is a nerf that's going to like nerf it into the ground. I don't think it completely moves outside the top 10, but it's definitely going to be a lot more niche now. We also have a damage range, or no, a damage modifier for the stomach and leg. So it goes from a 1.1 down to a 1.0. That's going to decrease the 4-tap consistency even further. And then they actually do have a buff to the 30-round mag. So that's the one that actually, prior to its first buff that I got, I felt like was the best option. Increase the damage range benefit from 5% to 20%, and damage range modifier basically replaces the nerf. So effectively, it's only going to be meta with the 30-round now. So it's effectively just going to be solely an aggressive SMG rather than a gun that can beam you from literally any range possible. I think it is still going to be very good with the 30-round, but obviously the difference between 30 and 60-round is pretty massive. MG42 ADS time increase from 380 from 350. I think that's a necessary change as well. I don't feel like the MG42 is broken, but I've seen a lot of people complain about it, so that's a nice like kind of baseline type of nerf that's not going to make it garbage, but definitely makes it tougher to use. We do have a nerf to the Type 19 as well. The Agile stock reduced the strafe speed from 20% or to 20% from 30%. That's definitely a nice little quality of life thing for competitive players as well. Tundra, I saw that it was getting a nerf, so I thought that it might be something significant. It's really not. I think it is definitely going to affect it like to a tiny degree, but reduce the hit flinch resistance buff from the airborne elastic wrap from 35 down to 20. That's not something that most people are really going to notice in a major way. We got a QXR buff, remove the ADS or bullet spread accuracy penalty from the enhance bolt. Enhance bolt's the English name for it. So that's definitely going to make it a lot more viable at range. That was the one scenario where the enhance bolt was kind of unusable. AGR buff reload speed, not going to be noticeable. Switchblade extended mag removes sprint to fire delay penalty, and extended barrel increased damage range by 10%. Okay, so Switchblade might be moving back into top 10. We'll kind of have to see on that, but 10% damage range, especially for a gun that previously didn't have any major damage range upside attachments, is definitely going to be really nice. With the Hades adjusted, new damage range 16 to 32 meters. Oh, so it's got like a new middle damage range, I'm assuming. So 31, 29, 22. Chest damage modifier increased by 0.1. Rapid fire barrel now reduces chest damage modifier by 0.1. This is the most random change. I don't know why they couldn't have just made it a buff. Like, nobody uses the Hades anyway, but okay. We got a buff to the HG40 BSA from 20 up to 24 and 10 for the opening up to 12. And also damage range increased. Wow. That's a big damage range increase. So it's up to, that's an extra 5 meters on the second range and an extra 10 meters on the third. That's actually, the HG might be feeling kind of nice after the buff as well. Headshot multiplier for the ASM 10, 1.2 up to 1.5. I'm assuming that's going to make it so the ASM 10 can 2-tap, so that's probably going to feel nice. Obviously, 2-tap consistency is a different issue, but M13, oh, I saw the M13 buff and thought it was exciting, but it's only for Battle Royale, and it's 1 damage to the second and third damage phases. Tech 9 nerf for BR? Reduced leg damage modifier by 0.1. Or did people use the Tech 9 that much? We've had shotguns reigning dominant in Battle Royale for freaking years, and we're nerfing the Tech 9? Okay. Bull charge, increased energy reduced while active. Oh, I like that. I like that. So it's not going to last as long. Napalm buff, score to acquire reduced by 70, so people are going to start running that with their persistence. Gunship buff, score to acquire reduced, so they're kind of indirectly buffing persistence with this, effectively. Stormball, increased effective time from 14 to 14 seconds from 12 seconds. I already thought the Stormball was really obnoxious, so I don't feel like that was necessary. Sonar grenade is the Echo grenade. So we've got detective radius to 11 from 9 meters. That's, for search and destroy, probably going to be super useful. Although, at the end of the day, like, if you got heartbeat sensor, why is there ever a need for the Echo grenade, you know? So, not going to really change a ton. Let's see. We got one more thing. Serpentine. Ooh. This is something that might finally start to move the needle. So the damage range, or the damage reduction, is up from 12% to 18%. Now, you got to keep in mind, that is only when you're sprinting. But with that being said, that's a 50% buff to the amount of damage reduced. Might be some more scenarios where this could actually be a viable perk to run. I think they're just going to keep buffing it until it reaches a point where people actually use it. At the end of the day, if it's only whenever you're sprinting that the damage is reduced, I think for the most part, people are just in general not going to use it because of the way that legendary rank kind of plays out. Overall, I would say W patch notes. I think there's some other things that could definitely still be addressed. I think the main thing, and I didn't really expect that it was going to happen this season, but the main thing is that the USS 9 is now going to blow everything else out of the water, because right now it's the only thing competing with the BP-50. BP-50 is still going to be strong, don't get me wrong, but I think there's going to be a lot less people using it, because it's going to be 30 round, and it's going to be a lot more difficult to use. But I think this is definitely a step in the right direction, and the first time in a long time that we've actually seen major changes to the meta. Hopefully we see more of that in the future. That's going to be it for the video, though. Hope you guys enjoyed. Drop a like if you did, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.